Hey, my program analyst, my name is Martian Marty.
I'm Herman.
And today we are going to be installing Linux. Linux Mint is the selection we're going to take, and the subdivision of Mint is Cinnamon. Whatever the heck that means.
No, the distro is Mint. The flavor is cinnamon. You gotta remember this.
Okay, I mean...
So, the distro is the actual OS, and the flavor is the user interface, or the UI.
Okay, I mean, I'm not sure what's going on behind that for the naming system, but okay. So anyways, this is going to be our alternative to Windows 10, because Windows 10, well, too many, after having bug after bug after bug, we decided to move on, and Mac was pretty much out of the question, so let's download Linux. So first, go on to your favorite web browser, and then we're going to want to type in Linux, and then the flavor of Mint, the version of Mint, of Linux that you're going with, Linux, and we're going with Mint, because Mint is basically, I've heard that's the most beginner friendly for the Linux operating system, and then download.
Alright, so the first thing that you're going to want to keep in mind is the HTTPS.
Observed right here. It's typically going to be the top one, and that S there stands for security. That is the Linux Mint download page. So you can click on that sucker. So anyways, we're going to go with Cinnamon, because Cinnamon, it's just the most popular. So let's take you to the download page, and the information is the codename Sonia. So we're going to download it from Canada, and we can go with the Manitoba user group. Yeah, okay, it looks like it's working. So this is going to be an ISO file, and we're just going to want to save file. And okay, so it looks like it's downloading. I'm just going to check the download speed and size. So it's going fairly fast at 0.5 MB per second, which is pretty dang good for out in the country.
Alright, so the next thing that we're going to want to do is Oracle VirtualBox.
So to get to there, open up your web browser again. And then all you have to do is type in Oracle VirtualBox download. It's not how you spell it. That's pretty bad spelling. But Google's smart, and Google figured out that I was trying to save Oracle VirtualBox. So again, just click on the one that has the HTTPS, the S stands for security, and open up that. All you have to do is click that big blue button. We're going to click that sucker. And here we're going to want to use a Windows package. So you can go with this Windows package right here. And yep, good to go. Hit save file. It might be a little different depending on which browser you have. Alrighty, the download is completed. So now the downloaded product will be located in your downloads if you're going with if you already have a Windows machine, that is. And you can just drag it to the desktop so you can see it. And just open it up, and it should install from there. And a security message might come up asking if you are sure you want to install this device software. And the name, yes. And you don't no, we're not going to always trust everything from Oracle. So okay, so we have Oracle VirtualBox installed now. So now we're going to want to run it. So you can just double click on the shortcut.
Alright, so now we're going to hit new.
So click that new little spiky icon.
And then you're going to want to type whatever you want to name your system.
So we're going to name this something a little more awesome. There we go, awesome Linux. And in case we have a different version of Linux, we're just going to name this Mint so don't get confused. And the version we have is 18.2, so we can name it that. That's a pretty awesome looking name. And by default, it's set to Linux, and it's set to Ubuntu. So you want to make sure it's type Linux. And Ubuntu is, so basically the Mint is based on the Ubuntu operating system. So you want to leave that as Ubuntu if you're going with Mint.
Oracle VirtualBox does not actually have an option for Mint.
If you see, it's like they have Arc and Debian and Fedora, so they have tons of great stuff in there, but they don't actually have Mint, which is fine because we can just go with Ubuntu. And be sure you select your operating, like the computer operating system, which mine is 64-bit. If you don't know how to figure out what type it is, it should be located on the side of your computer.
So we'll want to hit next there.
And here we can give it how much size, so how much RAM we're going to give this. I feel like I'm going to be generous, and I'm going to give it 2,500 megabytes of RAM, which should be plenty for it. Hit next.
Then we're going to create a virtual hard disk now.
So this way we can full install Linux onto the virtual hard disk.
So we'll go with the VDI option here because it's the default option. So
we'll hit next after that. And what the dynamically located and fixed size means is that the fixed size is 100% of the time taking up, say, 10 gigabytes. But dynamically located, it's only taking up that space if you're using it. So that's kind of a nice feature, so we're going to leave it as dynamically allocated. And here's how much gigabytes of hard disk we can give it. and I have plenty. I've got 2 terabytes, so I can be generous, and I can give it 40 gigabytes, so, because I'm not in any, I could give it a little more, too. I could give it 70 gigabytes. I could give it a whole 2 terabytes.
Alright, let's keep this reasonable.
Alright, yeah, we can just we're gonna give it something generous, like 50 gigabytes. That's reasonable. Create. Alright, and now it is created, but the computer is created, but it's not actually have an operating system with it.
So we're going to want to hit the button there in storage.
Open up that, and then here, choose disk image. Now that cinnamon flavored gum that we downloaded earlier is gonna come in handy here, and you're gonna want to click on the Linux Mint Cinnamon. First, there's a few options we want to change. So you're gonna click on display, and you're gonna want to click enable 3D acceleration. Check. We do want to be able to do that. There we go. Check. And we're gonna want to. We can crank the video memory up a little bit. I can give it. How does 40 megabytes sound? Okie dokie. And now we should be good to go to hit the start button. So it is all set up.
3, 2, 1.
So if you want to make the full screen, there'll be this little bar on the top and bottom, and view, and to set the view to how you like it. And I like mine full screened.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, I have missed that since the XP. That sound. I mean, for some reason, Windows decided that they were going to take that sound off, the load up sound, but that sound is awesome. This feels like Christmas, and I'm giving myself a present for free. So Linux Mint has tons of stuff, yeah, but it's not completely installed, so we're going to want to install it. And all you have to do is double click on that disky little icon here. And then from there, you're going to select your language. Ours is English. And this here is install third-party software for graphics. Yes, we do want this so we can watch YouTube videos and do all sorts of fun stuff on it. Continue. And then I'll ask you the installation types. The installation type we're going to want to go with is we're going to erase the disk and install Linux Mint, which is what we're going to want to do, because it's a virtual disk. And we're going to hit install now. Alright, and you're going to hit continue. And now it's going to fully install Linux Mint onto your virtual machine. Where are you? Good try. I'm not in Regina. I'll go to Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan, Canada. Continue. And this is going to ask you the keyboard layout, and we're going to go with English US. Continue. Who are you? I am Marty, I guess. I'm Marty, and my computer's name will be Marty VirtualBox. Alright, so now it's just going to follow all this steps. So you know that annoying message that was kept popping up in the corner there for a while there that was saying that your graphics driver or some crap about that? Here's how we can fix that.
It was the display adapters weren't initialized, so you're using more CPU and more resources than what you really wanted to, just because it was rendering everything without the actual graphics software.
But whatever it was, that error message was 100% annoying. So to fix that, you're going to want to go into the menu here, then you're going to hover over administration, then scroll down on the side, and you'll see terminal. You want to click that.
Or there's a shortcut right there at the bottom.
Oh, I did not actually see that. Right there, okay. And then you want to copy this code into it, which is this here. You're going to want to copy that line, which you'll see. I'll let you look at that a second. So it's sudo apt remove VirtualBox -guest asterisk. Be sure everything is just like that. No typos, no misspells. And you gotta type it all out because, no copy and paste. That's sudo. And type that into the shell. So you want to make sure the command is just like that. Hit enter. And you're going to have to give it its password, which I like that. That is a very good security feature. How do you have your password for everything?
It just removed everything there, so we're good to go.
Now we can close out of the shell, or the terminal, as it's called. And now we can close out of this. Don't save, we don't need to save it. Oh, cool. 2 exit buttons. So to exit out of full screen, if you just hit control and then, right control, mind you, the left control doesn't work. Right control and then F, it's going to make it minimized. And you're going to click input. Actually,
devices.
And be sure that your disk drive is empty. I'm just going to check mine. Okay, your CD drive. And mine's empty. And then you're going to want to click insert guest additions.
We're just going to click run.
This message will pop up. Hit run on it. Yes, we do want to run it. And here again, your password again. And now it's going to remove it a quick second so that this way it's not actually a guest, it's the home user. I really love Linux. I'm so, it just looks so nice.
And it's way safer than Windows. I mean, you try instead of just having to give administrator permission every time you install something, you've got to give a password too. I mean,
that's like really good security, because this way nobody's going to be messing with your crap. And I think the best thing about Linux is there's no telemetry and nobody is breathing down your back of what you're doing. So just hit enter.
Now she's good to go.
So now
you just want to restart your system?
So now you'll see that there is no crap in that corner, nothing saying, hey man, you got issues with your Linux. But so now my Linux is all good. I'm going to change that before my eyes go, before I go blind from that.
Make my eye twitch. Look at this. It's twitching.
Oh, that is really bright. It's like looking at the sun. We'll go with this. Somebody kept commenting and saying that we should definitely go with the Linux.
So, after months and months of nagging our parents, they finally consented us to using the internet access enough to download the Linux distro.
So I hope you guys all enjoyed this tutorial on Linux Mint. And if you guys have any questions or comments about Linux or about running a virtual machine, leave that down in the comments section. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Martian Marty out.
Herman, out.